This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cardabi. Welcome to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday for today, December the 22nd, is a legendary left-handed pitcher who pitched for 6 different teams from 1965 to 1988. But he will always be known as one of the greatest Philadelphia Phillies, and not the greatest Philadelphia Phillies pitcher of all time, winning 4 Cy Youngs as a Philly and 1 World Series title. He's part of the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's done well for lefties and all that. The second most strikeouts and the second most wins of any left-handed pitcher. And the first man to get to 4 Cy Youngs and all that. He was a legend. His name is Steve Carlton, who's now 79 years old. Carlton was born and raised in Miami, playing Little League and American League Legion baseball during his youth and all that. He would join North Miami High School and would do well pitching. While going to Miami-Dade College, St. Louis signed him for a $5,000 bonus. But this, of course, was before the MLB draft, so that's what happened. So anyway, he went through the Cardinals minor league system quite well. He actually was a 20-year-old when he started in 1965 for the Cardinals and was a regular in the Cardinals rotation by 1967. People forget he was a St. Louis Cardinal at first. So anyway, he was an opposing man. He was 6'4". I thought Carlton was like 6 foot, but anyway, yeah, hard fastball and slider. He was intimidating. He made the 1967 World Series at 14-9 with a 2.98 ERA. Winning the World Series with the Cardinals. And then in 1968, he was 13-11 with a 2.99 ERA, which was peanuts compared to Bob Gibson's great job. And the Cardinals did go to the World Series, but no, they did not win the World Series. They lost in 7 games to the Tigers. Carlton did put up 19 strikeouts in a game September 1969 against the New York Mets. The only problem was that 19 strikeout game was a loss, as he gave up 2 2-run home runs, lost the game 4-3. Still, he finished with 17 wins in 1969, a 2.17 ERA, and 210 strikeouts. So yeah, in the 67 World Series, he pitched Game 5 and had 6 strong innings, but losing the game 3-1. Carlton would not start for the Cardinals in the 1968 World Series. He pitched in 2 games of relief, but gave up 3 runs over 4 innings, so he wasn't really that good. He had a contract dispute with the Cardinals, thinking he was worth a lot of money. But in 1870, he proved he wasn't worth the money, losing 19 times, leading the NL in losses. However, he would rebound, putting up a 20-win season in 1971, his first of 6 20-win seasons. However, because of another salary dispute, Cardinals owner Gussie Busch ordered Carlton traded. The Cardinals were willing to give him $55,000. But Carlton wanted $10,000 more. Brutal mistake, as he would be traded to Philadelphia for Rick Wise. And they say it was a little lopsided and all that. Of course, that's in hindsight, because at the time, at the trade, Carlton had won 77 games, Rick Wise had won 75, and both were pretty good and all that. It was a decent trade and all that. Although Rick Wise would go nowhere with the Cardinals. Of course, Rick Wise is known in circles as being the guy who once in 1971 hit 2 home runs in a game as a pitcher and threw a no-hitter. So anyway, yeah, Wise did pitch 11 different years. He would win only 188 career games, but still, it was lopsided. Well, Carlton's money. Well, it was a salary dispute. So Carlton won 77 games over parts of 7 seasons with the Cardinals and 3 All-Star appearances. However, his first season with Philly, he made the Cardinals regret that trade, as Philly gave him the money, and he led the league in wins with 27, strikeouts 310, and ERA 1.97, which was great. The pitching triple crown, being the winner in the American or National League in wins, strikeouts, and ERA. The only problem was Philadelphia sucked. Yeah, sure, he won 27 games, but Philly only won 32 games without Carlton in the starting lineup. So Carlton almost had as many wins himself as Philly did without him. Almost. He did win the Cy Young, though, in 1972, becoming the first pitcher on a last place team to win the Cy Young Award. So, anyway, Carlton said his success would be to his grueling training regimen, which included Eastern martial arts techniques, as is twisting his fist to the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket of rice. So, yeah. You know, Carlton looked pretty decent and all that. With 27 wins in that 72 season. Saying his slider was unhittable. Carlton, unfortunately, would lose 20 games in the 73 season. And the media really questioned him about a lot of things. So basically, in 1976, he decided to give what is known as media silence, as in he would not talk to the media at all. He was not too pleased with everything and all that. Yeah. Carlton was not happy with the media getting on his case and all that. Despite all that, and maybe not making friends in the long run, he was successful. He won 4 Cy Youngs as a Philly. 72, 77, 80 when the Phillies won the World Series in 1982. It was just amazing what he could do. He was the first pitcher to get to 4 Cy Youngs. Greg Maddux would be the next one. Anyway, the Phillies would improve by the late 70s, becoming front runners in the NL East almost every year. Carlton in 1980 led the NL in victories, strikeouts, and innings pitched. Well, victories 24, strikeouts 286, innings 304, helping the Phillies win the 1980 World Series and finally becoming the last of the 16 original franchises in baseball that started in 1901 to win the World Series. It's weird how, the Phillies were the last team to do so. Like, you think maybe the Athletics or the Senators / Twins would be the last ones, but no, it was Philly. Carlton pitched Game 6 and won that game. It was 2-0 in his 2 starts in that World Series. Carlton won a Gold Glove in 1981, and he did quite well. He helped the Phillies in 1983 go to the World Series, despite his 15-16 record with a 3.11 ERA. Carlton was good in the NLCS. He was 2-0, giving up only 1 run. And in Game 3 against Jim Palmer, he did give up a pair of earned runs, and they lost. Phillies would lose that series in 5. Carlton beat the St. Louis Cardinals for his 300th win of his career, becoming the 16th pitcher to do so in September 1983. He was in a big fight with Gaylord Perry and Nolan Ryan for that strikeout record. They all surpassed Walter Johnson's mark. But anyway, Carlton did all that. So in 15 years with the Phillies, he won 241 games with a 3.09 ERA, becoming a 7-time All-Star and getting 4 Cy Youngs with the Phillies. The Phillies released him, probably thinking he was at the end of his rope. He went to San Francisco, and he actually broke his self-imposed boycott after signing with the Giants to give a press conference. In his first game against the Pirates, he actually hit a 3-run home run for his only win as a Giant. He was 1-3 in 6 games with the Giants. However, with the Giants, he did get his 4,000th strikeout, striking out Eric Davis of the Reds, becoming only the second pitcher to hit 4,000 strikeouts after Nolan Ryan did so, who did that on Danny Heap. Carlton decided to retire, knowing that his days in San Fran were done. However, he did not submit paperwork for the voluntary retired list or submit a letter of retirement to the National League. 4 days after he made that statement, he signed with the White Sox, going 4-3 with a 3.69 ERA. So he played for 3 teams, winning 9 games and losing 14. Carlton decided to join the Cleveland Indians. And Carlton pitched in the Toronto Blue Jays season opener / home opener in 1987 in Toronto as a member of Cleveland, becoming teammates with Phil Niekro. So anyway, he did what he could for Cleveland and all that. Cleveland decided to trade him to Minnesota in 1987 because Minnesota was chasing for the AL West crown. So he went 6-14 in that year with Cleveland and Minnesota. The Twins did win the 87 World Series, but Carlton was not part of the postseason roster. But he still got a World Series ring, his third, and all of that. Anyway, he did make the Twins roster coming out of spring training in 1988, pitching in 4 games before being released. He was practically done and all that. He remained unsigned in 1989. The Yankees did offer him the use of their facilities for training purposes, but no spot in spring training. He would subsequently retire. So anyway, his legacy was huge. 329 wins, a 3.22 ERA, 254 complete games, 55 shutouts, and 4,136 strikeouts, 4th most in history. He has a giant legacy in Philadelphia. He has a statue outside of Citizens Bank Park where Philly plays, and his number 32 was retired by the Phillies. So it should be. Carlton would not throw a no-hitter, but he got 6 one-hitters. All that. So yeah, in 1989 they retired his number 32 and all that. So, yeah, and all that. He was known for his slider and all that. He was married to his first wife for 33 years, but they divorced in 1998, having 2 sons. Steve Carlton has an orchard with 150 fruit trees in his home in Durango, Colorado. Anyway, yeah, so Carlton has had some great luck with the Philadelphia Phillies because he's a Phillies legend. Fight me on it. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Dec22.